a couple that's nearby, they want to buy because they want a bigger house. There, a lot better. So anyway, so this is a small family room, but it's connected to the whole kitchen. We have a very open layout these days. The kitchen is pretty much the entire wall wrapped around, and a little letter station over here, and then you have a breakfast nook right here. That's the main floor. So main floor, we have an office in the common areas, and then we have a suite. So we have a bedroom suite with a bathroom completed here. And over here is a mud room. I really like mud room because this is the garage. You come in, you can take off your boots and hang things up. So we usually leave a little space for a mud room. Let's go downstairs first. Careful, okay? How much you choose? Thank you. Yeah, so this is actually the basement. It's a full basement. Be careful of the wires. We're actually very pleased with the result. You can see it's actually very bright without any lights on. That's the result of the light well, is bringing the lights. So we have this long wall here. That's probably going to put a pool table here somewhere. And then if you pan with me, thinking about like to set up a whole row of shelf and desk so the kids can do their homework, those kind of things. And then inside here, a little storage like a wine cellar here, and all the mechanicals. That's where all the furnace. We have a set of washer and dryer downstairs. We also have a set of a washer and dryer on the second floor, so they don't have to carry things over. Pretty much the brain of the house. This is where all the mechanicals, heaters, water heaters, everything's down here. And then if you follow me, oh look, this is almost done. So I wanted the light well to be flush, so you walk out, you don't have to step down. And we have a lot of trim works, and then this wall is reserved for fake grass. So this whole wall will be plants. That's why we left it empty, but eventually this will be all greeneries. So we bring the more organic elements into the design. Okay? We have a full bar over here. This will be the bar table where you can sit. And then you have some LEDs in the back with bottles and wine, and then here's a counter to serve the drinks to the guests. And we have a theater. This is a theater. Just before coming here, I was researching what kind of a wall panel we want to do. So this will be acoustic panels on the wall and the ceiling, projector over there. We left a lot of wires for LEDs, so you will be indirect lighting. You'll be like lighting different locations, but you can't really see the light, but you can feel the light. And that's the equipment room for all your projectors, DVD, Apple TV, etc. Yeah, so this room, we're not going to paint it, we're just going to put the wall panels on it. And because of the sides, we did not do a step-up seating. We're just going to be a flat seating. Okay. Yeah, there's another bedroom suite downstairs, maybe for guests, whoever comes by here. So we have how many rooms we have? We have one downstairs suite. We have one on the main floor. That's also suite in the office. And we'll have 4 more bedrooms on the second floor. So let's go check a look. Thank you. This house, I remember, is like 5,800 or it's close to 6,000. And the entire lot is exactly 10 grand. So we have a shared bathroom that's serving 2 of the bedrooms here. And then I don't know if you can pan up. I forgot to point it out. We have a lot of those channels downstairs in the basement, over here as well. That little groove is for LEDs, so it creates a very nice accent light. So here's the master. The sizes are not too big, but we want to squeeze as many as possible in here. We typically like to have 4 bedrooms on the second floor, so usually you might have the parents in one, a nanny in one, and then you might have 2 or 3 kids. That's why we want to have 4 bedrooms on the main floor, on the second floor. So this is the master. And here's the bath. So you have a shower, you have a his and her sink, and with the tub in the middle. So everything is covered. It's all like marble-ish, so we're trying to protect it. We're doing samples for the tile design. So, oh wow, so the trim, I have not been here in a week. So it looks like most of the trim works are pretty much done. Trim works meaning all the door casings, the window trims. The carpenter's down, but when the painter come, they have to caulk up all the edges, all the nail holes, all the joints, and they have to do a lot of sanding so it becomes one piece. And usually these things, whether it's the door or the casing, they use spray. So the spray, there's no brush marks. So when the finishing product is like mirror finish, it's very smooth. So this is actually a lot of work. Painting the walls is easy. These are already primed. They just paint on. But all the trim works, these kind of things, this kind of trim is a pain in the butt to do. It takes a long time. Every one of these nail holes, they have to fill it, sand it, and then spray it. And then as you can see, we usually do the floor towards the end because you don't want to scratch it. And but we usually get a sample of the floorboard so we know the thickness, so that the bathroom is usually tile. We have to make sure the tile is at a certain height. So when the floorboard is done, they're flushed. So this is according to the thickness of the finishing product of the hardwood floor. So there's no joint between the different transitions. Okay, the tile's all done. We're just waiting for the vanities. So the siding, the siding looks like wood. These are woodish material, but these are not. They look like a wood plate, but these are actually made out of cement. They're called hardy planks. So it's not like the old style. You have wood, you might have termites going in. This is actually a cement product. So it's more, enduring. And sometimes people buy it with already cutter painting on it. We never do that. We buy it in a natural cutter, so we can cutter anything we want. Usually we do the houses like Craftsman, more lighter cutter, like white. And this house we did, the more traditional lapping. And then there's some sections we did irregular lapping, like you have on top. Just add a little variation to the outside exterior design. Usually a lot of contractors, they just put them up, paint it, and be done. But this is going to be like an $8 million home, so every one of these lines, we have to have the workers caulk it. Like if you look it up, there's slight gap between them. It's okay if you leave it as is, but it's just for the the better look. We usually, like for example, like this, we caulk it, caulk it, caulk it. So in the finishing product, it's one piece. There's no line, like all the edges. It's the details, man. The details that kills you. But it's also the detail that sells. You notice those holes? Those are for the ventilation. And in the previous years, people usually use a metal channel to let the air inside the attic. We're using this kind of board. It's very subtle. So you still get the ventilation done, but it's all in one piece, so it looks more coherent. Okay, and then the one thing I like is all the porches. I love covered porches. They're very functional, so you can be careful. There's no railing yet. So things like this, it's probably for the kids to put the bikes without like getting, weather onto the bike. And we have done a lot of basements. This is I don't know how many basements we have done, but we are very, very careful in terms of waterproofing. So you can tell all the black marks on the ground, those are waterproofing material. These are not required by code, but we do it. So every column, every joint, wall to floor transition, or wall down to the light wall, retaining wall, all the joints we waterproof with this material. And this is a very flexible material, so even the house shift a little bit, they don't crack. So everything, all the joints around the outside, around the column, we waterproof it, just so that the house is nice and secure in terms of the water penetrations. It's all around it. So the inside is finishing up, and the next will be take out the trash. We have a lot of them. The trash guy is hard to schedule nowadays, but we got to start the outside work. The PG&E needs to come and do the connections, and that usually take a long time. We're waiting for them right now. And all the sewer connections, we need to connect them out so the house utility will be complete. And the black part you see, those are the waterproofings. So this is the basement, the retaining wall. The inside black part is the waterproofing. The outside black matte looking thing is protection, so that when we backfill it, there's no nails or gravel that's going to scratch my waterproofing. So this is for, protecting the wall on behind it. So in this house, I'll say maybe 3 more months, 3 or 4 more months, we should be complete. There's still a lot of work. Towards the end, the house looks like it's ready, but there are a lot of small things, and they all take a long time. Yeah. And we're waiting for this door. The main entrance door, I did not like the ones that my partner picked. I think it was too, it's not bad. I think it's too traditional. So we want this door to be a little more modern, maybe a pivot door or something. There's a lot of trade-offs when it comes to construction. Like, for example, I want a lot more lighting effect, whether it's, I want lights here that shines up. I wanted lights on the eave that shines down. So at night, you can turn them on. We have this nice big columns. The light will make the column look even more grand. Another thing is like the roof. I think this house with the metal roof will look great. But my partner is saying that, well, the house, this ground is so high compared to all the neighbors. If you're standing on the street, you can't even see the roof. And having a metal roof that triple the cost. So it's the money not well spent, which I agree with her. So for this house, we decided to go with a nice shingle, but we saved quite a bit on the roofing. So there are a lot of things, when you do this kind of things, development, there are a lot of controls you got to control. There are money that you should spend. There are money maybe you say, you know what, that makes sense. Let's not do that. It doesn't make sense, right? But I think in this case, a better door will definitely get your money back because it brings the whole house up to another level, right?